Hey guys, I hope you've had and are still having a great holiday. Today, as you can see, I'm going to be doing the New Year's tag. I don't know if there's more than one, but this is the one that I saw Kaylee Mackenzie do last year. So I'm doing the same one, slightly changed the questions because they're like specific to each year, and obviously the year has changed. So I'm going to do my modified version of the New Year's tag, and I hate long introductions, so let's get into it. Question 1 is 12 highlights of 2012. My first one would have to be celebrating my 1 year anniversary with my boyfriend, and it'll be 2 years this coming January, which is really cool. So that was the first good thing to happen this year. The second one would be seeing Dream Theatre and Periphery live at Wembley in February, which is such a good show. One of my New Year's resolutions was to go to more shows this year, and I've been to 2, so that one didn't go very well. The third one was starting playing in a band, which is something I've wanted to do for a while, but never really got round to it, never found the right people, and then I was asked to join one in April, so that was really cool. Definitely one of the best things to happen to me this year. The fourth one would be involving the second show I went to this year, which was The Used at the Hippodrome in Kingston, which is a really small venue for them to play, and it was really convenient. It was so close to home. But also on that day I actually met The Used because I did a meet and greet, which was really cool, so I managed to meet all 4 of them, which was awesome. And we nearly got a picture at the end with Jeffa, but my camera was not working, so I've got a big blurry picture that I've tried to edit, but I can't seem to get a decent picture out of it. The fifth thing would be doing well in my Chinese exams. I took 4 exams in, I think it was March. I took 4 exams in reading, writing, listening and speaking, and I got 3 top grades and then 1 second top grade. So I was really happy with that, seeing as like they were the first Chinese exams I've ever done, so that's pretty cool. The next one was finishing high school, which was also like a sad thing to happen because I've spent 7 years of my life there and now I'm never going back, but at the same time it was good, and I don't miss it that much at the moment. The next thing was passing my driving test, which I'd spent, I think it was 9 months learning to drive, which is quite a while compared to some other people I know, but I did manage to pass it first time with only 3 minors, which is excellent, and I'm really glad I can drive now, even though I'm not a big fan of doing so. The 8th thing would be playing at Wireless in Guildfest with the band I joined this year. We managed to play Wireless, which is one of the biggest UK festivals, which is amazing, and I'm not quite sure how we were so lucky to get that. And also we played at Guildfest as well, but there's a lot more unsigned and unknown bands there, but they were both really good days, and I've done vlogs for both of them as well. But yeah, those were 2 really cool things that happened this year. The 9th thing would be going to Japan in August, which was awesome and such a good 2 weeks, and I'm really missing it. My cousins are actually in the process of moving from there at the moment, so I'm so glad I actually managed to go there this year. The next thing would be recording at Universal Studios with the band I joined this year again. I don't know how this band have been so incredibly lucky this year, but we've managed to do some really amazing things in the short time we've been together, or at least the short time that I've been in the band. And we managed to get a day's recording at Universal Studios to record some of the songs that or some of our original songs at least. And we are in the process of making CDs. We wanted to get them done for Christmas, but they are not ready at all, and it's after Christmas now. But we're in the process of getting them ready to sell eventually. But yeah, that was a really good day and such a good experience. The next thing was also one of the not so good things that happened this year, but actually turned out for the better in some respects. But I didn't quite get the A-level grades that I needed to get into my first choice uni. I'm now at college retaking some of my A-levels, but it was good in the end because I managed to, you know, reconsider my options when I reapplied for university, and I'm now applying to a different university to do a different course, and I think I'm going to be a lot happier doing this. So I mean, if this means that I'm going to be happier in the end than I would have been originally, then I think it's only worked out for the better. And my last one was turning 19 in October. Question 2 is 13 goals for 2013. My number 1 goal is to work really hard for the next 23 days until my exams are over. They finish on the 23rd, and just to work hard in general, but it is really important that I get these grades. The next one is to have a regular schedule for videos, and I may have just made this a lot harder for myself because normally I record everything on here and then I upload it to my laptop here and upload it to YouTube from here. This yesterday died a little bit, so he's gonna have to be sent away, possibly, to be fixed. So there's a good chance I'm not going to have my laptop for a while. And I've still got my other computer, but it's going to be a lot harder to edit stuff and upload things this way. But never mind, we shall sort something out. This year, because I will have finished my exams in January, but I won't be starting uni until September, October time, I'm going to have like 7 months to do nothing, or at least to find something productive to do. So my third goal for 2013 is to get a job or find one, unless I get an internship, in which case it won't necessarily be a job, as in like I won't get paid, but I need to do one or the other, really. Number 4 is learn to cook, because I keep saying I'm going to and then I never do. Number 5 is learn more Chinese, because it's the language that I want to learn the most and I think will be very beneficial to me. Next thing is to play a lot more guitar. As I always say, I want to play more and more, and I need to get back into playing electric as well, which is what I used to play all the time, but then I started playing acoustic and electric sort of got pushed out the way a little bit, but I need to get back into playing both of them, especially as I'm not having lessons anymore, so there's not as much of an incentive for me to keep playing, but I don't want to stop at all, so I need to keep pushing myself to learn new stuff and to improve. Number 7 is to get into an exercise routine, because I now have the time to do so, and that's something that I've been saying I'm going to do for a while and never really got around to it. Last year I did start running, but I think because I started the end of December, I don't think I made it to the end of January. I need to get into a proper routine that I actually stick to. Number 8 is to read more, especially stuff that's relevant to the course that I want to do this year. Number 9 is make the most of my gap year in general, as I've been given 7 months that I can use to good effect, so I need to find some productive things to do. Number 10, like I said last year, is to go to more shows. I've already got 4 that I sort of want to go to. I know I'm definitely going to one next year, which will be Green Day, but I need to go to more than that. Number 11 sort of ties in with, I think it was number 7, which was to get into an exercise routine. Number 11 is to just get fit, because I've never actually been fit, so that's something I want to achieve this year. Number 12 is to get my splits as well, because I dance and I am horrendously inflexible, and I think it can be done, it just needs a little bit of effort. And number 13 applies to everything I do, and that is to make rational decisions. Question 3 is my number 1 product of 2012, and I assume this is like beauty product, but I would say that my number 1 product for this year is translucent powder, which I didn't use before this year. I just think it makes so much difference, especially in the summer when you're a little bit shinier than normal. Number 4 is your most loved TV show of 2012, and I have a whole short list of TV shows for this year because I watched so many really good shows, but I think I've narrowed it down to 2. I haven't even got to 1. The first one would be one that started this autumn. I don't know if people abroad have seen it. It was on the BBC. It was called Me and Mrs. Jones, and it had Robert Sheen in it, who I am a big fan of. It was written by 2 of the writers of Green Wing, which is my all-time favourite TV show, and I just think it wasn't necessarily a similar show to Green Wing, but I did think it was really funny and I really enjoyed it. The second one would be Walking Dead, which I got into this autumn. I can't remember when I started watching it. It might have been around October time. I think it was around my birthday, but I am up to date and completely obsessed with it now, and I'm so excited for the second half of the season to start in February, and I hate mid-season finales and mid-season breaks, so I'm really excited for that to come back on the, well, I watched it on the internet, but yeah, I'm really excited for that to come back. Question 5 is your most loved song of 2012, and I've had to change this to album, and even if I've changed it to album, I've still only narrowed it down to 3. The first one would have to be the Used new album called Vulnerable, which came out, I believe, in February, because that's when I got my tickets for the show I saw in April. The second one would be Amaryllis by Shinedown, which is such a good album, and I've been crazy about literally possibly almost every song, bar 1 or 2. They were the band that I was supposed to go and see in October, but then other things happened. We didn't go in the end, but I was gutted because that album is so good, and the next time I come to England I am going to see them. The third album, and this is, I don't know how hard a decision this was, but Green Day released 3 albums this autumn, and I was so sceptical about it. I thought this was a terrible idea of theirs, but actually it seemed to work out for them. The first and third albums are my favourites. The second one has still yet to grow on me. I'm hoping it does soon, because I want to like it, but I just don't at the moment. But I think the third one is definitely my favourite. So Trey would be my third favourite album of this year. Question 6 is your worst decision of 2012, and I couldn't really think of many terrible decisions I'd made this year, apart from how much I ate at my friend Roberta's birthday in February. I was at the point of being in pain, that is how much I ate, and it just wasn't a good idea. She had Pizza Hut and cakes and I was all over it, and it was just a terrible decision. And the last question is your most visited website of 2012, and it's the same for every year. My most visited website is Tumblr, and I spend far too much time clicking buttons over and over again for no real productive reason, but that is still what I choose to spend the majority of my time doing. So that is the end of my New Year's tag for this year. No doubt I'll do this again next year. If you feel like doing one yourself, do leave it as a video response because I enjoyed coming up with things for this video. So thank you for watching, and I should have another video up in a week's time as long as I'm sticking to my schedule. If I've already broken it by the end of the first week, it's not going particularly well. But thank you for watching, and I shall see you soon.